Hey everyone, welcome back to the Transfer Talks podcast. I'm Kyla Viant, one of the Transfer Jacks here at NAU. Today I'm joining our amazing guest, Sarah. I'll hand it over to you to introduce yourself if you want to tell me your title and a bit about you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, Kyla. My name is Sarah Skillen, she, her, AF pronouns. And I am now the director of the Peer Jacks and Transfer Jacks and Jacks Online mentorship programs here at NAU.
Yeah, it's been super great. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you.
What have you enjoyed about the NAU environment as you've worked here?
It's honestly the best place I've ever worked. I've had such a fun time. There are just absolutely amazing people. It genuinely feels like the people I work with, care about me, my success, the success of our students. The mentors are so much fun, and I'm just always impressed and amazed by you all, the things that you accomplish. And it's been just the most positive experience, and I feel like I've grown so much here.
Totally, and it's been so great working in this environment. Thank you. So where's your favorite place to eat or get coffee or tea around Flagstaff?
I really love Sosoba, the ramen.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Tantan ramen is so good. And then the Old Barrel Tea Shop is also amazing. I love going in there and just feeling like, all of the variety of teas that they have. I'm like, any one of these can just, fix everything in life,
I know, and it's so cool because you can get them refilled, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that place.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit about your journey that led you to NAU? What brought you here and what excites you about being part of this community?
Yeah, of course. It kind of, I don't know, it goes back a long ways. I've always loved school. I've loved learning. I also love, I realized really early on, I liked the rhythm of school, like the changes that you get seasonally, that you're taking like new classes or interacting with new people. And then summer looks different. And so I, all through college, I was like, I knew that was kind of interesting to me. And then I had a professor who was really influential and kind of, she really was like, you might be interested in a PhD. And I was like, I don't think I would. But I went to go work in like the real world for like a year and didn't love it. I was working in insurance and it just wasn't my thing. And so then I applied for a PhD program and I did my PhD in comparative literature / Spanish and Latin American literature. And that was a really awesome experience. It was super challenging. And I taught for a few years and then realized that I wanted to try something else. Like I'd seen really amazing people in the department that I was a part of who were, kind of like on the administrative side, who were interacting with the students in a different way that seemed really cool to me. So I went to go work for a company in Florida that was kind of like doing some of that work and really helped me build a lot of like the managerial skills that I needed that I didn't have. And then worked there for a couple of years and became really interested in moving to Arizona because my family was here and was really interested in NAU. And right around the time I was getting ready to leave Florida, I was looking at jobs at NAU and this position came up with Peer Jacks and it was the assistant director position at the time. And I just jumped on it. I was like, this is perfect. This is everything I want to do. Totally aligned with my work experience and it just worked out.
That's so awesome. What is a piece of advice you have for new students or maybe a piece of advice you've been told that's always stuck with you?
Yeah, for new students, I'd say, figure out what works for you. I used to really stress myself out because I would watch my friends in college, like they would study so hard and they'd go to the library and they'd be super focused. And I was, and then I'd sit there and I'm like, my legs jiggling and I'm distracted. And I'm like, and I'm like, you guys, what you doing? And they're like, you have to stop. And I did not know at the time that I had ADHD. And I was like, I was like, this just isn't working for me though. I was like, I knew that form of studying wasn't just that I needed to be somewhere where there was more going on, that I needed to have, be able to be in, have a little bit more bodily autonomy when I was in those spaces. So figuring that out was important. And then my mom's piece of advice to me was always that that you are like a bicycle and your bicycle has two wheels, right? And one of them is working hard, academic, career, things like that. And then the other one is your social, emotional side, having, family and friends and hobbies and things, and that both tires need to be inflated for you to get anywhere.
Oh, that's awesome. I've never heard that. That's really cool. What do you think is the most important trait a mentor can have, and how do you ensure that Peer Jacks and Transfer Jacks mentors embody this trait?
I think caring. It's a hard thing to assess, but when we're doing like hiring and things like that, but we really want mentors who are like mission and purpose driven in this, who care about their students, care about the culture here on campus, and believe that they are in a position to change that, to make sure that students feel more included here, that they feel safer here, that they're having fun, and yeah, I think that that's just the most important thing. The way a mentor approaches that can look really different. We have some mentors who are, more introverted. We have some mentors who are super extroverted and really love putting themselves out there. But at the end of the day, a good mentor is somebody who genuinely cares about their students.
I would agree. That's awesome. What inspired you to work in higher education and take on a leadership role in student support services?
Yeah, so I talked through my path a little bit, but for me, it's all just that this work is really tied to my personal values. So I believe in creating like a gentler and more just world. So seeing a world where people, are cared for, where people have the resources that they need to be themselves, to support their communities. And to feel supported by the communities that they're a part of. And I really believe in higher education as a place to do that, and the work that we're doing in mentorship to build that kind of space. I also just think that I've always I changed so much in college. Like the person I was going in was not the person I was coming out, because I just learned so much about myself, about my values, and about what I wanted to achieve in my life. And so I really believe in this time in a person's life to grow and to evolve and to get to explore joyfully and boldly who they are.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think just getting out there and trying something new college it's a perfect place to do that.
Yeah.
Were there any specific moments or people in your life that influenced your decision to work in a university setting?
Yeah. So there was this one professor when I was an undergrad who she was studied some pretty heavy stuff, and I took a couple of her courses, and I was in her senior capstone course, and I explained to her what I wanted my research to be on, and she was like, that's really heavy. I'd like for you to come to my office hours regularly so we can talk about it. And I thought it was going to be, the first time I went, I thought it was going to be like okay, let's sit down, let's talk about your research process, how's your bibliography looking? But no, she was just like, I just want to make sure you're okay. And I was like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What was your capstone about?
So she was a professor of genocide studies. Okay. And so I was writing about gender and the Shoah, and how kind of like women's experiences of that kind of violence. And it was super tough. I read a lot of firsthand accounts and testimonials and things. But the fact that the professor took an interest in my well-being meant so much. And then at the end of the year, at the end of my senior year, she was like, she's like, I want to talk to you about something. I was like, okay, what? She's like, I think you should apply for doctoral programs. And I was like, that sounds really expensive. I don't think I can do that. And she was like, well, no, if you get a fellowship, they'll pay for you. You'll get paid to go to school. You'll get paid to teach and all of that. And it was cool. I'd never heard of that. I didn't know you could get paid to do a doctoral program. At the time, I was super burnt out on school and I didn't want to do it. But I never forgot that. And she was such a mentor. And it's kind of, it's neat to see when people are have a vision for you that you never even imagined for yourself.
Totally. That's so awesome. This is our last question. How do you envision these mentoring programs evolving in the future, and what new initiatives or changes can students expect to see during your time as director?
So one of the things that we've noticed is that like these mentorship relationships are so impactful for students, and it makes a huge difference in their first year here at NAU, whether they're coming in as a transfer student or as a first year student. And but we want to make sure that those communities can last beyond the mentorship. So what me and my team have talked about is, how can we create spaces outside of the one-on-one meetings where students can get to know other students who are at the same stage in life, where they can build communities that will continue to last. I know that like a lot of our mentors meet their best friends through this work or at activities, and we want to just be more intentional about that and see how we can take the kind of like nurturing of the individual to nurturing of the community as well.
That's so amazing. Well, thank you, Sarah, for joining me for the Transfer Talks podcast. And I just wanted to let you guys know, if you haven't met with your mentor, make sure you do so, because we're pretty awesome. And we have people like Sarah that keeps us super inspired every single day. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.